Welcome to the Moss and Marriage Goals Show. It's your boy, Dr. Deontay Moss.
And I'm Dr. Crantea Moss.
And we include God in everything that we do. That's Moss and Marriage. And this
Yes.
is the Goals Show. God oversees all love stories, but we got some special guests for you today. We got the bros! Billion! What's up, y'all?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, man, y'all looking good. Y'all looking real good over here. I
Sure.
think they looking better than the hosts. We got all that work, but y'all look like money right now. They always look like money, but when I saw them, I'm like, oh my God, they look so nice. Now, let me sit up in my chair.
For
Let
the
me sit
wife, I
up.
would have been here in my sweats.
The wife said, we're not doing that.
I was like, you know there's cameras there, right?
Yeah, they walked in here like, I said, oh my God. I said, what they gonna talk to us about, man? What they gonna talk to us about?
You are funny. So welcome. We're
Thank
super happy to have y'all again. We're
Thanks
gonna
for having us.
start out with no problem soon. An icebreaker.
You know, Tia love her games.
Icebreaker. Hey, you guys, soon, before we get started, you guys like, subscribe, stay a while, join the family, and comment as we're going through this session as well. So, you guys, the icebreaker is going to be yes or no questions.
Okay.
And I'm calling it answer and explain.
All right.
Answer and explain. So, you're going to write at least 2 yes or no questions on the pieces of paper I gave you. I'm going to shake them up. Everybody going to get one. And then you're going to answer the question and then explain your answer. So, think of questions that are common amongst, like, you know, married couples or something. Would you kind of questions.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Any
Okay.
questions?
Yeah, I got my questions.
Me too.
I got them. Yep. I got them.
Uh-oh.
You
ready?
I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous.
Y'all got them? Fold them up so nobody can see. Throw them in the middle.
Fold them up.
I got one. Okay.
Anything come to mind?
Anything come to mind? We got the Browns in the building. I'm so excited to have the Browns. These are we like to hang. We hung out a few times, and we asked them to come on the show, and it was like, yeah. Our people.
We kind of in our reunion. Our
Right.
reunion.
Cause I've known Rocky, man. I don't even know where we met. How we meet? It's been years since we was little.
Right.
Like, I didn't.
Grade school.
Yeah, grade school.
Were you
Yeah,
in
yeah,
high
yeah.
school?
I think.
Y'all didn't go to high school together too, did
No,
y'all?
I went to school with your sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you was in them special classes? No, just kidding. That was me.
You're not about to play my sister.
My sister about to call me like, boy,
Wait a minute.
you know that was you in them classes. She like, don't you do that. The people, I was watching. I saw them.
But
I'm
you
like, look.
got the carpet in the classroom?
No, look, let me tell you something. Look, bell ring. I come outside, stand in the hall. Everybody switch classes. Bell ring. I go right back in the same classroom. Bro. Severe behavior. They used to be called SBH classes back then. Now they call them ED, emotionally disturbed. But look, now I'm a doctor.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's what I got. That's the testimony.
Some respect.
That's
the book push.
Get the book push. I talk all about it.
And you earned your way out.
I did.
That's
I
the
earned my
powerful
way
piece.
out of the behavior classes because I used to clown in school.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Upbringing matters. I'm telling y'all, I used to clown in school. Ted's still trying to control me. That's why she's a teacher. I had to marry a teacher. I'm still used to getting discipline.
Told them. Bring it in, Moss. Bring it
Okay,
in.
I'm sorry. I did my work, teacher.
Come on now, Jewel.
No pressure. We got another.
He must got some good
Or
questions
you
over
got
there.
another one you want to do?
He must
Yeah, I
got
got
some
one.
good
Okay.
questions.
We're going to wait on Julian to throw his one more in. This where I just want to remind you guys again, like, comment, subscribe.
Moss and Marriage.
That's right. Let's get it. Let the fun begin.
I'm getting nervous now. You taking it's like I think you might have been thinking
Why-
about this
I'm trying
question
to
for
figure out
some
which
time
sticky
now.
note he got, so I don't pick it, because I feel like that question gotta be fire. That question gotta be
It's
some.
not. It's not.
I ain't picking that question. He made me know. Oh, let's see, which one was it? I don't know.
All right, everybody grab one. Yep.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
We'll let y'all go first.
Ladies first, go ahead, man.
I think someone didn't follow directions. I'm just
What you were
kidding.
saying?
It says who carries the team. This is yes or no, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Grab a different one. We can save that one though. Let's save that one.
Okay.
Let's save it. We
Okay.
can still go back
I
to
will
that. Let's go
answer
with that.
Okay. Do you feel as if at times within a marriage you need personal space?
I know one of y'all wrote that. That's too long.
That's a
Do
good
you
one.
need personal space? That is a good question.
That is a good one.
Honestly,
Be honest.
my answer is no to this because my space is your space. So if I
Ooh,
have
you better-
personal space, you can be within that space. If we
Ooh.
have the same space.
You better plant them seeds, honey.
Honestly.
What's your thoughts? What's your thought on her question?
I'm going along with it. Yeah, that's it.
Honestly.
Honestly,
Yes.
as a man, I think there's nothing wrong to have some personal space because as a man you're carrying a lot. You know what I mean? And sometimes you want to sort out everything, all your thoughts and everything, especially when you're getting off, coming home. You want to leave everything at the door before you come in. So sometimes you do need that personal space, just so you don't bring a lot of that friction and stuff at home, and that way you can sort everything out with your wife after you've,
Processed it.
yeah, processed everything. So
Yeah, you fix
that's how I
that.
feel. 'Cause
You fix that. I didn't really like that original direction.
You pulled it in.
Right.
What you think, babe?
No, I think it's important to have some type of personal space, and I think that you have to have. To me, I think with us, we have to have some type of, and I think that because I think everybody has to be a single person, even when you get married, you have to be a whole person, and you got to bring that person to the table because you got to know how to make yourself happy, and you can't just kind of depend on that other person to kind of, you know what I'm saying, mold your whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of got to be who you need to be, and personal, to me, I feel like I need a little personal space. And I know you need some of your personal space. That's why you be kicking me out. You know what I'm saying? Places and stuff like that. But I think it is important to have a little personal space.
Okay.
That would be my answer.
I agree too. I think I'm naturally like a introvert. Like I like to be in my head.
Really?
Yeah. You know? Like I think I'm fuel. I think I fuel me most. So when I'm around more people, I feel like it's not draining, but I'm giving off
Gotcha.
energy.
Okay.
And I think I get my energy more when I'm by myself in my head, in my own thoughts. That's why I do the sauna and gym time and stuff in the morning, because that's my space by myself.
And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I do notice. I'm thinking about the times that you do be by yourself.
Yeah.
I be thinking like, I don't know, you be working out and stuff. So that is like a long time.
Yeah.
And
it's
self-care.
not like you're being
Yeah.
selfish.
Self-care.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you said, for self-care. It's for your
Yeah.
own mental stability.
That's exactly what it is.
And everybody's different, and
Yeah.
there ain't no everybody. It could be a variety of different ways.
Right.
But I think
Right.
in our
Yeah.
But you got your times you spend with people too, and you
Yeah.
you make sure you spend your time with me.
For sure. For sure. He like, go get yourself first.
Please.
Nope.
It's my time.
Nope. I want to get in your pocket.
Yeah.
All right. Julius, you want to do yours?
Would you travel for leisure without your spouse? Oh, that's easy. Easy. We have. So, and we've done it numerous times. So, yeah, I mean,
For
we
leisure?
can't- for leisure?
Also, not for like.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry.
The
I'm
only
sorry.
time I've
just
traveled
for
without
fun.
you.
Hold on, for leisure? No, I'm sorry. My bad. It's been a long day. For leisure, no. I don't see why we'll need to. Business is different, but for leisure, I think when you're going on vacation, that's basically going on vacation together. There's no reason for me to be without you and go and try to kick it or something like that. That's like going to Miami or something for spring break with the fellas, like something like no. So I'd rather be with my wife.
For sure.
Yeah. What about you?
I agree. I think I agree with you. It took me a while to answer it, but I agree with you.
You took too long.
No, I've been going out of town for business without your spouse is one thing, but for leisure, I enjoy myself when I'm with you. I have most fun when I'm with you. I don't know, you're my best friend, and my leisure trips I've always been with you. Now, in order to know if I would like it, I probably would have to maybe try it once, maybe.
So you're asking to try it?
No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, you know, I like if I go someplace, I want you there with me because I need someone to drive me, and so you got to be there for
You
that.
kind of gotta go.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
But it's been a couple occurrences where I was like, babe, why don't you go out? See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Babe, you need to go out, go chill with your friends, something. You know, and she doesn't want to. She want to be on her daddy. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. But for your mental stability sometimes, you need to go out.
But see, for me, I'm like you. So for my mental stability, for me, going self-care that's how I recharge. So it doesn't necessarily have to be with, if I'm not with you, I would rather go have a spa day by myself or go to the gym. Or for me, that would be my personal time. Like I would enjoy doing that, I think, rather than having like a girls trip.
Yeah. Feeling. What's your thoughts?
About? I think we travel a lot. Like, we call ourselves the travel enthusiasts. Looking for sponsors. But so we travel a lot, and I know that you have taken a lot of girls' trips.
I haven't taken a lot of girls' trips.
Uh-oh.
What is, to me, I guess the question now becomes, what is a girl's trip?
Yeah.
To me, a girl's trip is a wild party. That's what you're going for. If it happened to be all women on a trip, I wouldn't call that a girl's trip.
Right.
I took girls' trips when I wasn't married. That's what I call a girl's trip. What I do now or what I've done before, I wouldn't consider that to be a girl's trip. Y'all put in the comments, what's y'all thoughts? What is a girl's trip to you?
But I think because we even had a conversation earlier about like maybe like you might want to take a trip with your mom.
Yeah, and see,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
so-
call that a
so-
girl's
no,
trip. He
I
would
wouldn't
call that a girl's trip
either. But you said like, so I would think if that was leisure, I don't see nothing wrong with that. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
You know, if you want to go on a trip with your mom, you want to have that experience to build memories together. You know what I'm saying? Or if I wanted to take a trip with like my father or something, you know what I'm saying? To gain experience together, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's okay. But we usually do most of our traveling
Together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
I had to travel for business by myself before, and that was my first time ever flying on an airplane, anything by myself. I cried. I didn't know what to do. When I was hungry, it was dark. I got to leave by myself. I talked to him the whole time in the Uber. I'm like, ooh, I don't like this. When I done got married and got spoiled. I can't. Oh, no, not that time. That was the second time.
ahead.
See, lately, all of our traveling, you might as well call it leisure. That's why, yeah, because she's the same way. I remember where were you at? Portland?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I feel horrible because I couldn't go. But go ahead, you can go. Explain.
It was the same reaction for me. Like being there by myself, like I was paranoid. I thought everybody, someone's they're gonna kidnap me. I'm in the Uber saying, babe, I'll be back to the room shortly. He wasn't even there. So it was. I wasn't used to it, and I didn't like it at all. I kept we FaceTimed each other at night. We slept with FaceTime video on. I probably should have told that. But yeah, I woke up to him snoring like I was at home. So I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's different strokes for, different
Yeah.
folks, but I was the same.
Yeah, I think, that's like you said, it's gonna be different for each person. You know what I'm saying? It could be right, but we just answered it from our perspectives.
Right.
My turn.
did.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Yes or no question. Did you initially want to get married? Did I initially want to get married?
Yes or no?
Did I initially want to get married? I think I always kind of wanted to get married in the future, but I thought I'd be like much older. I thought I was gonna be like 75 when I got married. I was like, man, when I finally want to settle down, I'll probably be like 75, and then you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get married. You know what I'm saying? But and I was waiting, but I was like, dang, if I get married at 75, Ted gonna be 100. So we got married at like what, 25, 26?
I think I was 26. You probably was 25.
I was much younger than her. But yeah, I think I knew that in the future I wanted to like maybe have an idea of marriage.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah. What about you?
By the time you came around, I wanted to get married. He did it, y'all.
Tell me what I did.
Look, that part.
Tell me what I did.
That part. But prior, when I was younger, probably early 20s or so, even just as a kid, I used to always say, I'm never getting married. And it wasn't even that I saw a bad example of marriage. I just didn't desire it. I didn't know enough about it. It just wasn't something I was interested in. But then once I seen it in my early 20s, I was like, yeah, I think I'm getting married. That's what's next. And then even learning more about God and, the biblical aspects of it and just really wanting to ride that thing out with somebody. So I'm happy I did it.
I'm in it.
So for me, I think I always wanted to get married. Like my grandparents, growing up watching their relationship and their marriage, how they were best friends, how they would argue. And when my grandfather was in a nursing facility, they would argue. He would say, get out. She would sit right outside the door, still arguing back and forth with him. And then she would get in the bed with him in the nursing home. Like their whole connection. I'm like, I want that. So I didn't expect it when the time presented itself for me to get married. I didn't expect it at that time, but I always wanted. Like literally, when he proposed, I had to sketch the dress already that I wanted. I had all the plans. Like this is what and he was like, I just proposed to you 5 minutes ago. How do you have all of this? But
That wedding was fire.
Yeah, thank you.
That wedding was fire.
Thank you.
Winter Wonderland.
Yeah.
God, that wedding was fire. That was one of the most beautifulest.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Beautifulest.
The most brownest weddings I've ever been to. I felt like
Thank
a VIP
you.
guest. I thought we was on TV. I was like, we on TV. We on the show.
She had a vision and she followed through with that vision.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I even enjoyed that process because we did all that together. Like I'm like, we don't need a wedding plan. We can do it. We can do it, and we did.
Okay.
In what, 6 months?
That was dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Me, I always wanted marriage. The way we were raised, we were called. A lot of people looked at us like we were the Huxtables growing up, and it was just a beautiful thing, just seeing that close knit family. And I was like, yeah, I wanted it. When we got together, it was about. I knew I wanted to marry her. I'll say within a couple months of it starting. Yeah, because everything meshed. Everything felt natural. It wasn't rushed, and we just had a lot of things in common, and we just wanted to build together. And I'm like, yeah, this is someone I do want to marry and be with for the rest of my life. So I was surprised when she said, yeah. I didn't think she would. I didn't know if she would. But
Please, I almost fainted. Like I stopped breathing for a moment.
Tell us about
Oh, he took your breath away.
Yeah.
and me myself, I knew I was like, yeah, I'm ready for it. So I'm gonna shoot my shot. I'm about to
And you
just
shot
hope I don't get
He dunked that thing.
Yeah,
That's actually a great segue into y'all love story. So tell us about this engagement that took your breath away.
Do you want to start?
I'm
Okay, so we actually when we met initially, we were actually on a set, and for some reason, he had this pea coat on that was like, it was way too big. The hat wasn't right.
This a movie set, right?
Yeah, it was a movie set, but this was his own personal style.
So he
at
wasn't
the
in
moment.
character.
No, and so I was
that was my personal style.
yeah, you came with that on. It wasn't. There
chose that?
Yes, there was no.
In the script, they said a long black jacket or whatever, like a peacoat. So I put it. Yeah.
Well,
But
it
anyway, that wasn't my
distracted me.
personal style.
So at that moment, I didn't see the vision.
It's part of the
But
plan.
then throughout the process of that Pale and Sharice that did the movie, they also some kind of way arranged for us to see each other at the gym and another film set, and that coat was gone, and he had on a fitted top, and he. And so at that moment, whereas before I had I couldn't see past, but at that moment when I saw him, he walked in the door and it was like he was in like slow motion, and like I heard like the harps and violins, and like literally at that moment I'm like, oh my God, I was not looking for you, I wasn't looking for anyone, but this is gonna be my man.
Oh, my
Okay.
goodness.
See, the first time.
She said she heard the music.
Right.
Yeah, it's like
in slow motion.
The first time, okay, I remember we were filming,
yes.
and I seen her. I'm like, man, she is beautiful. She is stunning. And I was like, yeah, but she seemed like she stuck up. So we met again later on,
Yeah.
and we was at the gym. We was working out, talking. Then it led into another role that we were doing, and that's when we came together and really started picking each other's brains.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a physical attraction at the time.
And he was actually my love interest
In the movie.
right,
Yeah.
right, and
Y'all had to like be.
it was kind of like, hi, I'm Raquel. Hi, I'm Julius. Okay, now we have to kiss.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It was the music playing there too.
yeah, it was like more upbeat than.
I was nervous because that's the first time I ever, just had to kiss somebody. I don't even know you, man.
Yeah, like he hit
She
my
was
nose.
complaining,
We could.
yeah, about me hitting her nose.
So y'all first kiss was like the nose, like, oh man, that was y'all first kiss.
Yeah.
I almost died on our first kiss. I was in the water.
You was underwater.
We were 12 at a pool.
Oh,
She told me
wow.
to kiss her underwater, and I couldn't swim. So I
He
almost
wanted
died.
that kiss.
Yeah, I almost died.
He swear it was my idea.
It wasn't. Why would I jump in the deep end? She wanted to hide. She wanted to be. She didn't want nobody to see the kiss, so she made us go to the deep end.
Where you get that from? You was watching Waterworld or Blue Lagoon?
It was his idea, Sam. Let's
Why
kiss
would
in the
I
water.
try to kill myself to kiss you? I don't want to die to kiss you. I just want to kiss. I wanted the world to see my fact. This me. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? She like, my brother and sister gonna see it. Let's go under the water. I said, okay.
Oh, okay.
I almost died. But y'all was on the nose all over the place.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, I was a nervous wreck.
But and actually, back to the question, if we knew that we wanted to get married. Funny thing is, like I said, I knew at one point that I wanted to be married, but I didn't know like when, or I wasn't even dating anyone. But for some reason, it's like when they say, when you know, you know.
Yeah.
It's a real thing, and you actually will not know that unless you literally experience it and find your person.
Okay.
And I actually knew that because at that moment, I had found my person, and I knew, I'm like, I think this might work. And I hadn't been looking for anyone. I wasn't dating anyone. But literally when I met him, our engagement, our conversation, going to the gym, I knew. And so, yeah, when you know, you know.
I feel like that'd be a theme too. People, when they don't be looking for it, that's when they find it.
For
You know what
sure.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
For sure.
That's when they,
Why do y'all think that's the case? That when you're not looking, that's when it finds you?
I don't know. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I don't know if it's because you're allowing yourself to be, you're more vulnerable and you're allowing yourself to be more open to it. Whereas when you're looking, you're thinking about, this is what I want, this is what I don't want this. And so you're trying to find that perfect person that's in your mind, and you may not find exactly what's in your mind, but you may find the person that's perfect for you. But if you're already guarded, or if you're already planning this person out, then you might not realize it when you actually meet the perfect person for you. Right.
And it's something about
Because he had a
confidence.
hat on that you didn't like.
Right.
So you let him.
And it's
So,
something
yeah.
about confidence and that's attractive. And usually when you're not looking for nothing, you're working on yourself. So you being that person, and
Right.
that be like, whoa, wait a minute, who was that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she don't care about nobody walking in this room coming in. Like, excuse me, hi, how you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then kind of like, so you like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that might have something to do with it too.
Yeah.
When you work on yourself, you just become like more. I've arrived.
I agree. I think soon, when you are in that space, then you're not looking for anything. So you're just being.
Right.
You're natural. You were just being
Right.
who you are as a natural person. Like, hi, I'm Raquel. I'm here to perform.
Right.
You're being yourself. And I think that's also when you get the most genuine version of a person, because they don't even know that you're intrigued by, their aura or their energy. You're just being,
Right, right.
So I think that's really when the connection is just more natural,
You
even
can't
without.
stop. Cause you whole, but you can't stop that feeling.
Yeah.
Right.
Cause it's a feeling
Yeah.
that you get. Like,
Most
wait a
definitely.
minute, like,
So,
hold on, though, like I'm not looking for nothing.
yeah. You at home, like, let me look at his page. Who is this dude? Like, for real.
Right. On my page.
For sure.
The thing was, when we exchanged numbers and started talking, it wasn't like we were just on each other. It built up. It was a build up.
Right.
And so the more I understood her, the more she understood me. The more we started talking and seeing that there's attributes to each other,
Yeah.
and what we wanted, that right there was like, oh man, I didn't explain to her what I'm doing, what I plan on doing, and things like that. And I wasn't even ready for a relationship at the time. But something just took over me, and I'm like, yo, I have to marry this woman.
Okay.
Because I couldn't see myself without her. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to marry her. So that's...
Are you acting? Because y'all both accomplished actors. Y'all, I know y'all very accomplished actors.
yeah, I'm being real. So, yeah. So, come on, man. I proposed after what?
You
six,
did.
Yeah, 6 months.
Ooh, that was shorter than us.
Yeah.
We thought we was fast. 9 months for us.
I have a question about that. So did y'all ever have a conversation about possibly getting married prior to you proposing, or was it just like?
Nope. I met her father, met her mother, met her father, and I'm like, yeah, this.
It caught me off
Yeah,
guard.
it's real nice. And I called her father, and I was like, I'd like to marry your daughter. He was like, really? And best friend, I called him dad. I lost my dad in 09. So me and him, we built a good relationship, and it blossomed. And he was like, you got my blessing. He was like, you sure? Are you absolutely sure?
I don't even know if they do that no more.
Man,
Say
that's
I
how I
don't
was
do
raised,
that no
man.
more?
Yeah, I asked mom, and then I asked dad, and they both gave me the blessing. And so, yeah,
Okay.
so it
Powerful.
was dope.
Did he ask you if you were sure?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He probably say, I know my daughter. You sure you want to marry
He was
her?
like, are you sure? Are you sure this is what you want to do? I'm like, undoubtedly, this is what I want to do.
That's powerful.
So how long have you guys been married?
We've been married for 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. Before November 17th.
Yes, sir.
Powerful. So in those 3 years, what would y'all say was one of the greatest challenges in marriage thus far?
I think for us, because everything happened fairly quick, like with proposing after dating for 6 months and then having a marriage 6 months later, we were still married, still kind of growing and getting to know each other.
Yeah.
So there were things that, you know, that I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't know about this 6 months ago. So like, wait, I got to get used to this a little bit. But so I think with us, just natural growing pains, growing, learning each other, learning, you know, our yeah. So that was, we had to get used to that.
I'm real OCD. So
Very much
you
so.
See, I had to put these together, and it's trying for me at the house sometimes because
He vacuums three times a day, and if I vacuum, he'll still vacuum immediately following me, even if it's perfect. that type of OCD. But it's okay.
Yeah.
You learn how
So
to
the lines are there,
Okay.
yeah, and then he has to, it's, But go ahead, because there's more. But but what were you getting at?
Oh, I don't know. I lost track of thought. Just looking at you.
Ooh, boy, you better talk that talk. Boy, you smooth, boy. You clean, boy. You clean. That was good. I like that. That was good. I'm taking those things like that down. That's how you do it right there.
But no, that was the thing. It was challenging because when we started living together and everything, and I'm okay. I'm getting to understand certain things. She's getting to understand certain things. All it was a lot of it was compromise.
Yeah.
You had to compromise, and then
And I'm impulsive.
very.
I like if I have my mind set on something, I it's just like this is happening right now, and I've always been like that. So he kind of put some structure in that, and it's like, okay, if you want this, let's do it, and let's do it right. Let's nurture it. Let's don't just rush, and don't just let's think it through. So he basically was what was missing in terms of who I was, what I wanted to do in life. It was my missing piece. And I think us realizing that and actually linking those pieces together and building, that was all a part of our process.
I mean, it was teamwork.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what she is for me.
Yeah, and I mean, within the team, you're gonna see where I lack, she's there. Where she lacks, I'm there. So we know we can pick each other up. Like, okay, boom, I'll take care of this, you take care of that, I got you. We're gonna get it together. So I think let's
figure it out.
Yeah.
It's funny that he say that because I was driving to work today and I was literally got in my car and I was like, I use it to a clutch that your spouse is literally, you know, everything I'm weak in, he's strong in.
Right.
So I think about social studies or something. Whenever somebody asks me a social studies question, I be like, I don't have to know that. My husband, God gave me a husband. He knows that. He cares about that. That's his area of specialty. What I'm going to go study in that for? I don't care about that. I'm the math person. You got math questions, you ask me. You got social study questions, you ask him. We good over here. Right. And I'm like, you guys literally just said, you know, it's the same thing where sometimes we take that kind of stuff for granted, but it's true in all aspects.
Right.
Your mate is a person who can bring value to you in ways where you're weak. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong too. We don't allow people to be strong where they're strong.
Right.
You know. What's your thoughts? What were you gonna say?
I think I just love when we have great conversations. just to my spirit.
You know what, this is cool because you know me, I don't talk. I'm not a big social person, but this right here, this is beautiful that y'all have a platform to where married couples can come on and express what they're going through in their marriage and things like that, and get feedback from another married couple.
Sure.
Because like what is it? People have single friends. I can't talk to you, man. You have no idea. Nah, man. I need some married friends. You know what I mean?
You need someone that when there's an issue, they don't say, leave her.
Yeah.
Oh, leave her.
Right.
You don't gotta put up with that.
Like,
Right.
no, I like her.
She put the toilet seat down. Leave her. Leave her.
But at the same time, it wouldn't get to that because a lot of stuff I don't talk to people about in marriage.
That's true.
There's nothing for you to talk about. Why am I talking to you about it? You know, like, you know, but Dr. Moss and
Dr. Moss. Dr. Moss.
Oh, snap. I'm sorry. Dr. Moss.
We gonna put some respect on the.
My apologies. My apologies. But yeah.
No, and I think that's a good point. And it ain't even just friends. You gotta do that with your family. Sometimes.
Yeah.
You can't even let them all the way know what's going on because you know it's been situations where you know a couple might get into it and then a family member get into it, right?
Right.
And then that family member's never looking at that spouse the same way.
Nope.
Because they done interfered to something that they shouldn't even been in the first place. And
Right.
y'all done been cool.
Right.
Y'all done got back together.
Yep.
Y'all in love again.
Right.
Yeah, y'all just had that big old giant argument that
Yep.
y'all need to discuss and communicate.
Right.
But you done let all these other people in, and now they don't like you for a certain amount of time or whatever
That's true,
it may
yeah.
be because they stuck on that. Because they ain't got to live with you. They ain't got to
Right.
love you. They ain't got to,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So,
And that's one thing I would never want anybody to look at my wife in a certain light.
especially
Just off of a feeling at the time. Oh
Right.
man, she done made man something going for what? No,
Right.
because family and friends, they can take it to a whole nother level and not even know. And a lot of people are miserable to the point to where they're happy to hear that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
you gonna catch me, you know. Sometimes when I'm trying to finish my thoughts, go ahead.
I got you. No, you were spot on. So,
You were killing it.
But no, yeah, that's
One of the questions we kind of threw out there off camera was, who is most vulnerable? Was that what you asked? What was your question?
or more, I said that he was more guarded than I am. Yeah.
Okay. In the relationship. And then what made you say that?
I think I would say just because, just like how he said he doesn't really talk much. Like for me, I communicate a little bit more than he would. And I guess that could be not necessarily a good thing because just like you said, sometimes you don't need to necessarily share everything with everyone. And I'm just free spirited. Oh, I don't mind. What you want to know? And he's kind of like, well, wait a minute. I don't know that they need to know that. So I would say in that instance, it's like some things are private. Everything's not meant to be shared. And he, in that aspect, is more guarded than I am.
That's just from growing up, because when people think they know you, they try to come at you a certain way. You know what I mean? And that's my whole thing. I don't like people. I tolerate but no, I love people. I mean, but you know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean.
I tolerate some people and just put up with them. But even when you come at people, because I can be a real nice person.
I can't believe
And,
you just
and
said
open.
that.
What?
Go ahead.
I mean,
I think I kind of get where he's going.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you be nice, you get disappointed. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so especially I'm a loving person, I'm a giving person, and I'll do anything for you. But once I feel like you're trying to get over, or you think you know me like that in order to do this and that, such and such, it's very disappointing. So a lot of times I'll just talk to my wife or people that I know that's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're from that I can really trust.
And I was going to say too, because sometimes being like a loving person, sometimes you expect and you want you from other people, but you can't always expect to get you from other people. And when you don't get that, you're disappointed because it's like, I wouldn't have done that. Well, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. You don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah.
I really like that he used that word though, disappointed, because that's really what it is. We become guarded because we like, you hurt my feelings.
Right.
Like, I would have never did you like
Right,
that. That's
right.
powerful. It brought us to where your thoughts though made me say that I felt like I was more guarded than Moss originally. And I was and I felt like I was more guarded because I'm not an open book. But if we do this, you're gonna get all of me. I'm a spirit energy type of person. If I feel safe in your space, you're gonna get all of me.
Right.
But if anything about your spirit is vexing me, I'm quiet. Like I chill. You know, I listen and I'm gonna chime in, but it's not gonna be nothing too deep.
And I think that's where the discernment come in, the spiritual. Because some stuff you do need to talk about. With you could be that example or just that perspective for another people. We not talking about everything, but sometimes your mess turned into a message or your test turned into a testimony, and you able to project it to another couple coming up, or just out of dialogue, but you know who those couples are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know who those couples are that you can have that conversation like, okay, well, we went through this. This is how we handled it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And it might be something that they need to hear.
Sure.
But you can't do that with everybody.
Yeah.
It ain't an everybody type of conversation. But I think you do feel or have that discernment, like I feel like what you was just explaining was, you'll know, and you're like, well, you feel led to
Share.
Share or open up a little bit.
And I think it's power in that, sharing your experiences, because that could help other couples understand that they're not alone.
Right.
They're not on an island of their own.
Right.
Like us too. We've been there, so I think that's so much value in, why we do what we do too, and just wanting couples to have hope.
Right.
And know that wherever you are right now is not how the story ends. So that brings me to actually my question for y'all is, what's your thoughts on the whole concept of don't do marriage alone?
So for me, I think I agree with that concept, and that's only because, just like what we were just talking about, with us being, well, I guess it's 3 years still newly. Are we still newlyweds?
I think
Maybe.
it depends on who you're talking to.
Okay. Well, I think for me, especially with us being within the first 3 years of our marriage, I think, like with a lot of the things that we are experiencing that are new experiences for us that may be difficult because it's a new experience, communicating with someone that has that experience, that has that knowledge, that has been married for years, that has gone through all these things, that has had spiritual counsel, I think getting that input from them and involving them within those conversations, I think it will help you grow. Just like as individuals, you go see a counselor or you talk to a psychologist or a psychiatrist. These are people that have the knowledge, they have the experience, they have the background, and I don't think you should do marriage alone in that aspect.
Yeah.
No, we went to marriage counseling. We went to marriage counseling prior to getting married
Right.
too. So to get it from a professional, can I say professional point of view, somebody's point of view, and I think that helped us tremendously by doing that, to talking to someone before marriage, and then during marriage we went a couple times because it was certain instances where we like, hold on, we're not seeing eye to eye right now. Like,
It helped us hear each other, and it helped us to listen, because there's a lot of times like he'll talk and before he's even finished, well, no, that's not what I meant. That's not how it goes. And he's like, let me talk. Let me finish my thought. And so I think with doing it that way, it allowed, he had his time to talk. I listened. I heard you.
mm-hmm.
I had my time to talk. He listened and he heard me, and it allowed for us to take that dialogue outside of that room and for us to be able to do it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be hard sometimes. You getting there. I have one time we was with our counselor therapist,
Who are you talking about?
our marriage counselor.
Okay.
And you be thinking, you be swearing, did she hire her? Are they on the same team?
right.
Are they on the same team? Is this a setup? And then next week you be like, oh, she cool. Get that.
That is how it goes.
Indeed.
But I definitely would agree that I think married couples should have some type of counseling or therapy. It helps out a lot tremendously.
Yeah.
I know it did a lot for us. We learned a lot of quality things, give the benefit of the doubt and stuff like that. So I think it's definitely worth it. But we getting ready to close, y'all. So I'm gonna ask y'all, what marriage advice would y'all give to a married couple? What's your best marriage advice you've ever got? It could be one or two things or whatever, or it could be one, whatever.
Communication is the key. Communicate. If you can't hear each other, if you can't talk to each other, there's no way it's gonna work. There's no way. And that was our biggest thing. It was communication and understanding. That was the biggest thing for us.
We've been getting that one too. We've been getting that one.
What's the difference between communication and understanding? I
Well-
like how you put them both out there.
Well, understanding, I had to put myself in in her shoes where she was at. So I'm like, okay, this is how she's feeling. So if that was me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Role reversal. Not total role reversal, but you know, just reversing that role so I can understand more where she's coming from, so I can say, okay, all right, that's what it is. That's the problem. All right, Julius, go in there and handle it like this. So, yeah, just communicating and understanding and listening. That's how I can best explain it.
And I agree with that. And also, for me, the advice that I would give is to just simply remember your why. Why did you get married? Why did you fall in love? Why? What led you all to being here? Why did you do that? And always remember that.
Yeah.
You're so dope.
Thank you.
Y'all know what y'all talking about. Y'all vets.
Yeah,
And I don't
yeah.
care if y'all been saying y'all been married 3 years, because a lot of people don't last 6 months. But we good? The Browns is in the building.
Yeah.
This is the Boston Marriage Gold Show. But first, I gotta give a special shout out to the Williams, because they having the best week ever. It was their anniversary, and they just brought in a brand new baby girl in the world. That's our producer. So we want to shout them out. Congratulations to y'all. We love y'all. We love y'all. Appreciate you. And that's the Boston Marriage Gold Show. God oversees all love story. We out.